Hello everybody. Well, I told you at the beginning of my YouTube channel that way back when was it, in 2019 I think, when I started this channel, that it would be a mixed bag. It certainly has been that. You know, the last two videos I've posted were kind of dramatic. Excuse me. Somewhat dramatic, maybe, to some extent, maybe a little bit of an exaggeration to a small degree, but not really. Right now I'm sober, and honestly, it really is very, very rare that I even have a drink, because I know what I get like when I have a drink, which is why I don't drink. Because I end up making an absolute twat of myself. And I've never really been that keen on alcohol anyway, really. I think more than anything else, not that I've done any drugs in recent years, but certainly when I was in my early to mid 20s, well, into my late 20s, I think if I had to choose a particular drug, that if I had to choose one for the rest of my life, it would probably be marijuana. Certainly alcohol has its place. It can be a good, you know, it's a good way of loosening you up, and it's a good kind of, honestly, sometimes it's a good way of getting the stuff out of you that you need to say, that you... Problem is, when you have too much to drink, it turns into slush and turns into, you know, just a mush of emotions and somewhat of a kind of, not catastrophizing as such, but just kind of, you can become a little bit over the top maybe, but I think in the moment I genuinely believed what I was saying was true, and that's why I haven't took the video down. As for the other video, it's a little bit cringy maybe, but do you know what? And it's aggressive and it's raw, but it's real. That is very real. That's a very serious fuck you to a lot of people that have never really liked me that much. They just, for whatever reasons, and those people, I have no time for any of those people anymore. I have no time for, quite honestly, most people anymore. I don't think that most people are worth my time. Most people aren't worth my respect. And I got tired of chasing people up all the time, as in doing all the reaching out to people. I'm done with that. I'm done. I really have reached my wit's end with that side of things. You know, it's I've always tried to be, you know, as best as decent of a person as I could possibly be. I've never wanted to be a cunt to people, to put it bluntly, but you know, I think sometimes there are just certain circumstances, certain people that you just reach a point with certain people where you kind of end up having no other option but to be like that, maybe, because some people just need to be put into place. I think some people need to be. If you just see me looking over my shoulders, because I'm looking at my dogs here. One of my dogs is sick. I just think that, you know, there comes a point where you have to lay things to rest. You have to put things to bed. You have to find a way of moving on, I think, without certain people in your life, because they don't want anything to do with you anymore. They've made their intentions very clear, whether directly or indirectly. And I reached a point where I just lost all respect for some people. which is a shame, but it's just that's just the cold harsh truth of the matter. Um, my YouTube channel wasn't really meant to be a kind of endless, never-ending stream of sort of like I don't know, bitterness, resentment maybe, but it appears to have morphed into that, which never was my intention, and it still isn't. But it's important to have a place where you can go to, where you can, I suppose, really ultimately get shit off your chest, and be honest about how you really feel and what you really think. Because I don't think, I just don't think it's good for you in the long run to keep things to yourself, because I think that can really damage it damages the way that you look at the world, it damages the way that you think about people, and I think ultimately you kind of reach the stage where you just think, I don't really want to talk to anybody anymore, I don't really want to have any contact with anybody anymore. I just, basically where I'm at in my life now, just basically just kind of existing and just kind of like surviving really, and just trying to get by. And I'm at a point where I just don't really want to do anything anymore. I don't really want to be surrounded by a lot of people anymore. And to be honest, I haven't really felt like that. I haven't felt, I guess, this kind of, this deep, I don't think it's beyond depression. It's not so much it's a mental health issue as such. I mean, that's probably part of it, but I think it's more than that. I think it's a real bitter, deep, real disappointment in a lot of people, and just to kind of, it's just like I said in that kind of rather perhaps silly, well, maybe that's the wrong word, unwise video that I put out when I was rather drunk. But I stand by that video, and I stand by the one, and the short one with me going ape shit on, sort of, because it's raw, it's real. That's me, and I really genuinely want to put that out there. I won't be here forever, but I'm sure probably my YouTube channel will probably last longer than I will. I don't know. I've just reached a stage in my life at this point where I just feel like just giving up. Really, I just feel like I don't. It just sometimes I just don't want to go on anymore. I don't want to continue. I certainly don't want to continue feeling like this forever. I don't want to just keep feeling this emptiness, this desperation, this. Yeah, it's just feeling hollow a lot of the time. Just feeling that I wasn't enough for people. That I didn't do enough for people over the years. I like I said, I genuinely do stand by what I said in my video, because it's yes, maybe it's a little bit dramatic, perhaps, maybe, but you know what? It's the fucking truth. It really is on the honesty laid bare on a table. And I think, for me at least, it often takes, foolishly takes getting drunk to that level to often get to that point. And I always regret it the next day, always, every time I do it. But in the moment, you feel so lonely, and that's why you start drinking in the first place, because you there's this emptiness, and that's what I think a lot of drug addictions are about. It's this pain within you that you're trying to numb it, so that you can lead a normal life. It's this pit of despair that you can't seem to, and so you turn to something in the hope that that's gonna make you feel happier or better about yourself. And it's not even so much. It's not even that it's about your life. It's more about how you feel about yourself. Really, I think more than anything else. And I've just always felt just shit. I've just always felt that I'm just crap, never good enough for people. That I'm just certainly not smart enough to the things that I would have liked to have done. I wasn't funny enough. I wasn't cool enough. I wasn't this or what. And it's just this endless. It just becomes this like endless cycle of beyond, it's beyond self-deprecation. It's this constant negative self-talk. This very, the self-pity, I guess you would call it, and apathy, but it comes from a place of hate. It comes from a place of. It's not that I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I just want people to accept that I'm somebody that's gone through a lot of shit up here, and that people need to understand that. People need to realise that that's who I've been, and that I've had to put up with a lot of shit over the years. Just being myself, let alone the problems that life's thrown at me, like life does with everybody. But I think I've tried to make the best of situations. But I'm certainly not innocent. I'm certainly not trying to claim to be some, I'm not perfect. I've fucked up and made fucking stupid choices and didn't think certain jobs through, and relationships I didn't think through properly, and I've played my part in the destruction of certain friendships or pals, whatever you want to call them, mates, if you can even really call them that. And yeah, just to reiterate, I really am not somebody that. Well, one, I don't even really like the taste of alcohol. Never really been that interested in it, to be honest. Even when I used to go out with my old mate, clubbing and stuff, like, it was never really that. I never really got the whole drinking culture thing. I got it because it lowers your kind of self-criticism and your insecurities and things like that, and it kind of, I guess, brings you out your shell a little bit. It gives you this sort of false confidence, I guess. It gives you this. If I could feel like that without having to drink alcohol when I honestly can't ever remember the last time I had a drink, apart from the other day. Like, it's been it must have been at least probably a year or something, maybe even longer than that, I'm not sure. But it's very, very rare that I have a drink these days. And even when I used to drink, when I used to go clubbing, it was only ever on like Friday or Saturday nights. I never really touched the stuff because I saw what it did to my parents, and it was never really my go-to coping mechanism, I guess you could say, and it isn't, and it never will be. It's just that I was just feeling really shitty a few days back, and I stupidly made the choice to go and buy some vodka and whiskey and get blathered basically on the second day of buying it, and it was a bit silly, really. I shouldn't have done that, but I don't know, sometimes you're just desperate and you're looking for a quick fix, and I should know better at my age than to and especially calling my parents and leaving voice notes for people. It's just all a bit cringy, and it's like, it's just talk about people losing respect for it. Not that probably many people had much of it to begin with anyway, but still. But I don't know. It's just I thought at the time that it was. I needed to get out my head. That's the truth of it. I had to get out my head for a little bit because I was just eating myself. I was eating myself alive. It's like, it really is like mental piranhas up there. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just gnawing away at you all the time. Like you're shit, you're not good enough, you're this, you're useless, you're crap, you're you're incompetent, you're this. Just this constant, endless stream of never feeling like you're ever going to be able to meet other people's expectations of you, and that you're just not good enough, and just all the shit that comes, that just gets to you as well, just like certain things that you've said and done over the years, and it's just like you just feel like, and just the way, just everything really, the way I look, the way I feel. It's like I know what I look like. I know what I see when I look in the mirror. I know what I sound like. I know what I look like when I'm on video. I don't need anybody else's criticism, to confirm it or anything. It's like I know exactly who I am, what I am, and the mess that I've got myself in, my life, that the mess that I've got, that really ultimately I've got myself into. And I deal with it every day. I deal with it, not you, nobody else. I have to deal with that shit day in, day out, all day, every day. And sometimes that can break you down. It can really start to. It just fucks you up. It messes you up. It plays on you. It's like somebody prodding you with a fucking pitchfork or something. Just keep that, just a slight prod, just every day, just a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little bit more, and you just snap at a certain point. And I don't like conflict. I don't like arguments. I don't like drama. I'm not a drama queen. But I think we all, because of that, I internalise everything, and then certain things can get blown out of proportion. Things get exaggerated. When it all comes out, you see, that's the problem. It's like a pressure cooker. That's the problem. It's all the stuff goes in, and you're not really dealing with it because you've got other stuff you've got to deal with, it's too difficult, too uncomfortable to deal with, or you just don't feel like you're going to be able to deal with it, so you just keep putting it off and off and off. And before you know it, you've been dealing with 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years. It's like, the thing is that I've been to counselling, I've had counselling, I've tried to change the way I think and feel about myself, but really there's very, very little that seems to work. I mean, I've done the whole exercise diet thing. That kind of sort of works briefly, but I don't know, maybe it's just a thing. If you just can't teach an old dog new tricks, maybe it's that kind of thing. Maybe at this point, I've just become too psychologically stubborn. Maybe I'm just too stuck in my ways. Maybe I'm beyond help. Maybe I just can't change. Maybe that's just the reality of it, perhaps. Which I hope isn't the case. But I think as well, deep down, I just don't feel, there's no motivation in me. There's no, I don't feel like I just can't get myself to really want to do anything anymore. That's what bothers me more than anything else. Because it's, I've always kind of been up for things. I'm not a complete layabout, or I'm not completely against getting out of my comfort zone and being a little bit outgoing from time to time. I actually quite like it, and it's good because when you're in it, it's going to be difficult to get involved in things. But I just don't know. I just find that the longer that I spend around people, the more exhausted I get. And it is me. I get that, but it is also other people as well, to some extent, because I just think that some people, they're inconsiderate. They don't give a shit about other people's emotions and personalities, and there's no some people that have absolutely no empathy to speak of. But ultimately the world doesn't revolve around me, so you have to be honest with yourself about that. and I don't expect everyone to bend their entire lives away, their everything to accommodate me or whatever. But just a little bit of like understanding, or a kind word here or there or something. Just I don't know. I just find I've just over the years I think I've just become more and more disillusioned and disappointed, and just generally speaking, I guess just kind of I don't know what else to say about it. Just disappointed. And I've said stuff before. It's not like I'm saying anything new here, but yeah, my dog's not very well. I don't know what's happened to her, but she's pretty sick at the moment. I'm gonna have to make this a quick one. But I suppose ultimately a lot of my videos are kind of they're there for my own benefit. They're there to record moments in time. They're there for like a kind of diary, I suppose, really more than anything else. But they're also there to serve a message. They're there for a purpose. They're not just randomly doing these things. I put these things up because I genuinely want to say these things. I want them out there. So if anybody who needs to hear these things can, if they want to listen to them, they can, and if not, fine. It's like, there's God knows how many, probably millions of channels on YouTube. I have no idea, but mine's just a very tiny little, pretty much it's really my channel has no influence on anything, but I didn't set it up to have any, like, it wasn't, I never really intended it to be therefore as a kind of like some major inspirational thing. It wasn't really about that, but I suppose ultimately it's like if any of my videos or my shorts or anything appeal to anybody in some weird way or whatever, then that's great. But I'm not out here like I'm certainly not. I'm not like trying to crave attention or something. It's just I want to put these videos out there because this is somewhere where I can let my how I'm feeling, how I'm the things I'm going through psychologically, emotionally speaking. It's a place to put it. I guess it's kind of like I guess it's like therapy in a way. I guess you would say it's my way of trying to deal with life just in general, and the difficulties of just everything really. Life is just hard for so many different reasons, and I found getting older very difficult. I found the aging process kind of, it's overwhelming, I guess, at times, and kind of a bit over. I don't know. I just think that I just don't feel the same way about myself anymore. It's like, when I was in my 20s, I think I felt a little bit more confident in myself, but over the last few years, I've seen the way that my looks have gone. Basically, I've put on weight, and I accept that. Though, there's only certain things you can do, and in other ways, I've brought certain problems upon myself. But I guess I'm just like most people. I'm a highly flawed individual that has a lot of work to do. In terms of progression and maturing, and it takes time to develop yourself. You don't just wake up one morning and everything's suddenly hunky dory and your life suddenly just in a state of perfection or anything, or like it takes time to get, I guess, to. I don't think you ever end up. I don't think you ever end up in. And I think if you're trying to reach some kind of like paradise or something, you're wasting your time. I don't think life is, apart from when you're on drugs or you have you're having a very rare brief moment of happiness, or you're having a good a good holiday, or you've got your finances in order, or what. But even then, it's I think I just think that life is messy for everybody. Everyone's life is has its own unique issues, and I don't think I would want to live anybody else's life, really, because especially those people that you see on social media, because a lot of the time what you're seeing isn't really an accurate representation of those people anyway, and you're only seeing the best bits that people put online, so you can pretty much dismiss a lot of that stuff, because a lot of it's bullshit. People have got an image to maintain for whatever reason. I'm not really about that. It's not, I'm not an influencer. I'm not interested in being. I'm just someone that likes to be real and raw and open. And I'm not saying that necessarily YouTube is always the right place for that. There should be some things that are private. And a lot of it is, a lot of things that I go through are private. A lot of emotional outbursts and stuff. I don't put a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a very, very few stuff of that stuff on my channel. You're not gonna see me, having a mental breakdown, or you're not gonna see me crying my eyes out or something. You're not gonna see, me at my absolute lowest, because that's for me. That's what this is what I allow. I allow what I allow. I share what I want to share, but it's not fake. It's me being honest about how I feel, and that it's life has been a bit of a wild ride, I think, in many respects. I've had it a lot easier than a lot of people, and I'm very lucky, and I've been fortunate, and I feel blessed in certain ways that I've had the life I've had, I guess. But also, I have regrets, and I sometimes wish that my life had gone a different path, and that I hadn't. Sometimes I wish I hadn't lived the life I have as well, because I wish I could have been a different person, I guess, more than anything else. That would have took me down a different route in life. I wish I hadn't been so shy, so introspective, such a kind of recluse, I guess. It's just a very. I don't mind being alone, but I know that it's not. I know that it's detrimental to my health. But I kind of gravitate towards it. I gravitate towards being alone and being very very careful with the people that I being very careful with trust and respect, because you just don't know people. You don't know their story. You don't know what people want from you, because usually people do want something, but it's not always evident what that is until later on, unfortunately. And I'm just done playing games with people. I'm done reaching out. I'm done trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm done respecting people that disrespected me. I'm done with people that tried to get one over me, thought they were better than me, thought they were above me, thought that they could play games and thought that I didn't know what they were up to, that thought that I was stupid or naive or something, that I didn't see the games, the tactics they were playing, and how fake and phony ass a lot of fucking people can be. You know what, at this point in my life, I'm 34, going on 35 in a few months, right? I'm just done. I'm done with people, I think, just in general, really, these days. I think I'd rather just be alone now. I'd rather just not have anybody in my life, really. I'd just rather just not put that effort into people, because ultimately that all people do is disappoint you. People don't really care about you unless they want to out you. Or whatever it is, whatever the case. There are very, very, very few people in this world that you can genuinely call friends, and you can really truly trust. And even then, I would always reserve. I'd be extra cautious about those people. Not paranoid, but just be very careful, because you know people can turn on you for all sorts of reasons. People will, people can be very convincing. People are very good at hiding things. People are very good at putting on a front and playing a part. People are very good at leading you along, leading you astray, leading you into a false sense of security, because they want something eventually. They're trying to get something from you. Or they get something from being your friend or your pal or whatever that they don't say. I don't like really human nature for the most part. Besides really, but it's like, I don't know. I just think that ultimately, if you really truly knew people deep down, you probably wouldn't have any friends at all, really, because people can be very ugly. People can be very malicious, even, I'd say, insidious. People can be very. I just think you have to be extra careful as you get older. A lot of people are carrying baggage, and they're willing to unleash it on you, and you on them. So, and it's easy to become bitter and twisted and pissed off at the world like me. Very, very easy. And it's easy to lose the will to live at times as well. And I don't advocate for people to turn to the bottle. I don't advocate for people to smoke weed, or to take Class A drugs, or to risk their lives of doing dangerous things because it gives them a sense of release, or whatever it might be. These obviously you should try to put effort into something that's but I ultimately, who am I to give advice, or to tell people what to do, or not like telling you what to do, but I don't know. I just feel completely at a loss these days, in general, really. I just don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I don't know what to feel anymore. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't know even if I want to continue living anymore, quite frankly. Not just trying to be dramatic there. I genuinely mean it. Sometimes I don't know what the future is for me. I don't know if I have one. What I said in that video, stupidly drunk video, is all true. Every bit of it. It's all true. That's why I sometimes drink. But like I said, it's a very, very rare thing. One, it's expensive over here, to be honest, to get any decent alcohol-wise. And two, I don't particularly like drinking. I don't, after like 1 or 2 cups, let's say. Like, that's about it really. I'm done. It doesn't really do much for me after that. It just makes me feel sick and queasy and regretting it for the next 2-3 days. I certainly regret seeing the things that I've done the next morning. But I don't know, in the moment sometimes you think, I've just always tried to like be as real as I could be with people, and that's got me into a lot of problems. And certainly when you're adding alcohol to the mix, that certainly causes tension and can cause problems. And I accept that I shouldn't have said probably half the stuff that I said when I'm drunk, but you know what? I think 95% of it, what I said, was probably true. You know, when I tell people that I love them or care about them, whatever, it's true. Just because I'm married or whatever, it's like, it doesn't mean that I don't still think about like people from the past. It's like, I don't want to have a relationship with them, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about them. It doesn't mean I don't think about them still. Or that friends that I haven't seen for 10 years or whatever, 15, 20 years, whatever, that I don't still think about them and wish them, the best. But at the same time, I don't really want to be friends with them. I don't really want to, because my perception of them is very different to who they really are. And I think, I'm going through an existential crisis, and because of that, it's made me very distrustful. It's made me feel very disillusioned, and like I'm basically going through a phase of challenging everything now these days, like everything, all my memories, all my friendships. It's like, and like looking deeper into things, and just kind of wondering what the fuck people ever saw in me really as a friend in the past, and like why did I just don't know. And just the fact that, just like I said, just decades of disappointment from people, just people betraying you, people lying to your face and thinking that you're too dumb to see it, people just playing games. Weren't you? You thought I didn't know. I did know. I was just selling you the rope to let you hang yourself. Because I knew better. That's why I don't want anything to do with those people anymore. All of those people have been blocked and basically told to fuck off. I don't want to hear anything from them ever again. I don't want to see them ever again. I don't want to talk to them ever again. I don't want to hear anything about them ever again, because I lost all respect for them, and they all fucking deserved it. Every single last one of those people deserved it. Everyone. I gave people chances. I gave people chances to be honest and open. They didn't deserve. They never deserved my time, and they certainly never deserved my respect. And at the same time, it's sad. It's a shame. It is unfortunate, but this is just the truth. This is the world that we live in, with a lot of fucking fake ass bastards, like just disposable people, really, just trash, human trash. Yeah, there are decent people out there, like I say, I always say. Of course there are. But there are few and far between. There are very few people that are really decent people out there, as far as I'm concerned. You may disagree, but that's the way I feel, think about it. So, from here on out, basically, I'm for the most part, I'm basically riding solo, really. I'm not interested in having any contact with people that only reach out to you whenever they feel like it, whenever it's convenient for them. Oh, well, I didn't see your message. Or it's like, no, you didn't see my message. Really? Yeah, didn't see it. That's why it says seen at the bottom at this particular time. Oh, well, I was busy. Oh, you was busy, was you? It's too late. It's too late. As that song was, too late to apologise. It's too late for forgiveness. I ain't no Jesus. I ain't no fucking Buddhist monk. I give people chances. I give people the benefit of the doubt, and once they cross a certain line, that's it. I wipe my hands with them. They're goners. And that includes people that I've known for 20 years. Once I reach a point where they're no longer worth tolerating, they're no longer worth my time, my respect, my effort, I put them away. They get put in the dustbin. Because they were never really your friends anyway. Not really. Most people aren't. Oh, well, my life changed. Things have moved on. Oh, really? Oh. Well, it was some friendship then, wasn't it? Can't have been more. You can't have valued it that much then, could you? You know, that was a long time ago. You know, we were different then. It's like, oh, I see, right? How convenient. You just end up in this dark, lonely, depressing place. The more that you live, the more you see, the more bullshit you fucking hear. Day after day after day after day. It's a lonely world, man. It is a lonely, lonely world out there. Maybe you just are better. Maybe it's a blessing in the end, maybe you are better off being alone. You know, there's a reason all those songs are written about loneliness and being disloyal and being betrayed and whether it's about relationships, people stabbing you in the back, people being two-faced, people being manipulative and playing games, and exes thinking that they've got some power over, control over you, whatever the case may be, because that's what she thought, but you didn't. I walked away from it because, quite frankly, you weren't worth my effort anymore, and honestly, you were a bitch, a lying, deceitful, manipulative, nasty, vile bitch. God forbid you ever meet anybody ever again. I feel sorry for those people, whoever they are. If they've got any sense, they won't have anything to do with you. And that also applies to those people that were supposed to be friends over the years. Stay clear of these fucking people. Stay clear of things that seem too good to be true, because eventually, mark my words, that's exactly what it'll turn out to be. Call me bitter if you want to, fine. Maybe you're right, maybe I am. I've had a lifetime of it, like a lot of people. That's why so many people at a certain point tend to be on their own. It's all good and great when you're in your teens, you're in your 20s, when life seems like the fun seems like it's never going to end. You know, just one big party for 10, 15 years. And then just one day you wake up and you're 30, you're 35, you're 40, you're 50, whatever it is. And you just start putting the puzzles together, you start realising things about people. And this is not some victim mentality bullshit. This is real life. This is the harsh nature of reaching middle age. This is the reality staring you in the face. That, you know, and the existential crisis, whatever you want to call it, label it as whatever. It's a real serious, real period of genuine reflection, and that often comes with a mixed bag of emotions and thoughts. I'm glad that I had the friendships I had with certain people. In some way, I'm glad I had connections with the females that I've had in my life. But at the same time, I kind of wish I never had. Because quite frankly, it's been nothing but a burden. Been nothing but trouble. I've probably lost more due to women than I have friends. And I mean love interests. And do you know what? I'm just going to say it. Women aren't worth the effort. They're not worth the time for the most part. Besides a very small number of women. A lot of women are out there for their own fucking gain. Whether they want kids out of you, or whether they want, you know, financial security, you know, whatever the case may be. For the most part, women want something from men. I don't even think women even are really capable of loving men. Really, honestly, for the most part, I'm sorry to say that. No, it's a generalisation, but that's where I've come to. That's where I'm at now. And probably it's just the other way around as well. But in my experience, I've always felt that I think men genuinely try to love their partners. But there's a breaking point with men. There's a tolerance. There's a point where men just snap and they're done. They're finished. Unfortunately, a lot of men are too cowardly to. They won't admit it, so they'll stay in a relationship. They'll cheat, whatever, and then that's how it ends, or whatever the case may be. But that's also the case with women as well. Not all though. All women are conniving, cunning, or they think they are, and highly manipulative. Always plotting and scheming something. Always think that you're up to something. Always paranoid. Always got some accusation to throw at you. Always got some criticism. Always got something to try and break your soul or break your ego or something. Oh, I know your secrets. I know who you really are. And I know who you really are. And you don't like that, do you? You don't like that one bit. Because you see, you're supposed to accept, you're supposed to tolerate the world of double standards, you see. Whether it's friendships, relationships, at work, whatever it is, just in society in general, you're supposed to know your place, bend over backwards, and let them ram it up you. Take you for everything they can think they can get out of you. That's what human nature is. That's the real bitter, honest, cold truth of the matter. And if you want to say you're a fucking eternal pessimist, you're just endlessly negative, I don't give a fuck. I don't care anymore. I honestly don't give a shit what labels people throw me up anymore. I don't care. I've had it for 20 years, 25 years. I couldn't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. Think whatever you want. Call me whatever you want. Gossip about me behind my back. Nothing new. People have been doing that for years. Or if people haven't got anything good to say about me, then fine. Good. People don't talk about me. Great, wonderful. Because in the long run, it doesn't matter anyway what people say. None of us are going to be here, in 100 years from now, or even 50 years from now. Certainly not 70, for the most part. So who gives a shit what you think about me, how you feel, what you say about me, or how you really truly felt, and what you thought about when you was a part of my life? Who gives a fuck? Say whatever you want, think whatever you want. I don't give a fuck, really. I'm disappointed if that is the case with certain people, probably family members as well. But you know what? When I go to bed at night, I'm not eaten up every single night with regrets, or I don't feel the sense of, I don't have a guilty conscience necessarily. I certainly am not perfect by any means, because I've made mistakes. I had to learn. I had to play the game of life like everybody else is doing. You're not innocent either. And you never were. So, at the end of the day, quite literally, I can sleep well at night, because I know that my intentions were honest and clear, and I tried to be as real and open with people as I could be. Unfortunately, a lot of people, just the truth of the matter is this: a lot of people didn't like me for all sorts of different reasons, and they just never. They were too much of a fucking coward to be honest about it, because they didn't really want to be your friend. They didn't really genuinely love you. Fuck those people. And if I am bitter, you fuckers made me. And you fucking know who you are. I hope you fuckers can sleep well at night. I did my best. I tried. I did my bit. You didn't. You should be the one that's fucking feeling guilty and have a fucking guilty conscience. You should, not me. I was real. You weren't. You were fake fucking bastards. And I'm sorry that so many videos end like this. People that knew me 10 years ago, I don't want anything to do with those fucking people anymore. I don't want anything to do with them. Any single one of them, I don't want anything to do with them anymore. They're all gone. They're all dead as far as I'm concerned. They can all fuck off. They don't mean anything to me anymore. That's where I'm drawing a line under it. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore. I don't want to feel the fucking crap I felt for so long. I'm done with these fucking people. That's it. These people are scum as far as I'm concerned. They're selfish bastards. And they always have been, and they always will be. I'm not. But there comes a point where you have to draw a line in the sand and say, enough is fucking enough. So I'll refer back to my two videos before this one. Going forward, I'm done caring. I'm done going overboard and going the extra mile for people. I'm done with all that. I'm done. That ship sailed. That all that part of me is gone. That's long gone. Unless it's reciprocated. If it is, fine. You've got to be harsh. You've got to be cold. You've got to be a little bit distant as you get older. Because once the party's over, the lights come on, and you see just how people really truly are. And unfortunately, a lot of it's damn fucking ugly.